Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Deja Vu, bring you the second set of the MST Group 1. It's going to be SAD, S-S-A-K. Almost look like it says Ssak. And Hydra! Not to be confused with Crazy Hydra. Or, what was it? There's another one, isn't there? There's another Hydra. I don't remember. I think there's another guy with Hydra in his name, but this is the Hydra from Hydra, the one that's not useless. Well, actually, Crazy Hydra's doing pretty well these days, too. I think he's like, what, 3-1, 4-1, something like that in the Pro League for Williamson Star, so he's doing pretty good too, actually, so maybe the name deserves a little bit more praise. But this is Hydra, the Zerg, at the, whatever, the 7, 8 o'clock position, and then Ssak, the SKT Terran that nobody really knows, at least I don't, at the 12 o'clock position. Terran, he is in green. And yeah, I mean, Hydra's a really good player. He doesn't get the notoriety that a lot of other guys do, but he's a really solid player overall. He gets a good number of wins for Hydra. He's definitely a threat. I don't think he's actually a threat to, like, say, win the Star League or get to even that's like maybe a round of 16. I don't think he's really a threat to get to like a round of 8 or the semifinals or something like that. He's not quite that good especially once you get into the best of 3s, best of 5s. I don't know if he really has it. I haven't seen him in a best of series that late, but I'd kind of be interested to see how he can do it. But yeah, that's where he stands. He's one of those. He's a solid player, though definitely a threat to take games off of top players when he gets a good chance. And he is going to be going against Ssak, a Terran player. So I think yeah, got to give the advantage to Hydra right off the bat. Looks like Sakk's just going to block off his ramp from the bottom. Remember, this is reverse ramp, so blocking off your ramp from the bottom is kind of dangerous. It'd be more dangerous if this was, say, a TVP, and you were going to block off your ramp, and your opponent went and got a bunch of Dragoons right on top of the ramp, and then you just had to QQ because there's Dragoons with range sitting on top of your ramp, and you don't have a tank yet, and that's just... That can make a Terran player a little bit sad. That'll bring back memories of, like, Byzantium, and Terran players really don't like playing against a 10-15 gate on Byzantium, so I bet you 10-15 gate would work pretty well on this map too. So. But that's PVT, this is ZVT, so he doesn't have to worry too much about that, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't really know what's going on the top of the ramp. You can see right there, he has no idea. So when Zerglings get produced by Hydras, if they're sitting up there, let's say you might expect there to be 6, but if suddenly there's like 4 at the top of the ramp and then like 6 sitting in his mineral lines that come off out of nowhere or something like that, you could really see how that could really hurt you, really take you down if you're caught unawares by that sight. And we have a factory coming up already, so this is going to be a vulture, maybe a starport, wraith opening. We'll see how many starports thrown down. I think there's only one SCV mining gas, so I don't think he can really afford to throw down more than 1 starport. Wouldn't think. We are getting a layer here off of 2 hatches, so this could be this looks like it's going to be a 2-hatch Muta opening from Hydra here. 2-hatch Muta, and once that factory completes, we'll see if this is just to get the initial vulture, if this is going to be 1 or 2 port wraith. We'll see. Could be either of those things. It could be a dedicated mech build. We'll find out. And Hydra gonna try and take down this SCV, and is gonna succeed because Ssak decided to like have it sit around and go in random directions on the ramp. So that was not too successful of a idea by Ssak, but I think he got the important information. He knows that it's 2-hatch Muta, and should be pretty confident, unless a Hydra stand gets thrown on very, very shortly, which I don't think it is. I think a Hydra stand would have wanted to be thrown on just a little bit earlier to time it with the layer, so pretty sure it's not there. And we do have a starport, it looks like. Yep. Right? What was that to the left? Go back and click on it. Damn it. I think I might have missed it. I think it was a starport. I imagine it was a starport. Can't imagine building anything else. But he did just produce that 1 vulture, and then he'll probably use his factory to like help up on the top of his ramp to try and block off the wide choke, and maybe land his barracks and his factory there, build another supply depot, try and wall that off a little bit, so that we can get his expansion up. Oh, and some Zerglings actually sneaking into Sakk's base, and he was trying to expand off of 2 Marines and a Vulture. while the Vulture was on the offensive. Don't know what he was thinking there. That's really not enough. And a lot of Zerglings actually being produced. Look at that. This is our little mini Zergling pump here from Hydra. So he's pushing in with a lot of Zerglings. And SCV's pulled off the line to deal with these first initial 3 Zerglings. And that did get into his base. It looks like they've been dealt with. But the Zerglings now are banging away at the wall. Ssak does not have a whole lot of Marines. Just a single Marine right now. And his factory at the top of his ramp. Looks like he produced a Vulture and then started floating it, but that Vulture died, and the other Vulture already died too, it looks like. Wow, this is not looking real good from Ssak, losing both those Vultures to Ling. That's not good. We do have a Spire coming up as well. But a nice little Zergling pump here by Hydra. Well-timed, well-placed, good timed attack here. We have an Engineering Bay and an Armory, so the Armory... Are we seeing Valkyries? Goliaths? Maybe Goliaths. If he lands the factory again, maybe Goliaths, but Valkyrie, really? I think they've kind of fallen out of style going into Valkyries, but maybe we'll see one. We do have the control tower, so that would make sense. I think if he was going Goliath 1, he would have that factory still landed, and 2, we probably wouldn't see a control tower on that starport. So that's where we stand right now, and Ssak's kind of in some trouble. I'm not sure how he's going to get out of his base right now. He doesn't have range to see the top of his ramp. Mutalisks are on the way. Looks like he's going to get a couple of missile turrets up, and it looks like he's going to be producing Valkyries, which we'll see how this works. There's one Valkyrie. We'll see how this works. We'll see if he's able to defend. He'll defend here at the beginning, but he's got to be really careful. Valkyries are like paper planes, only 3 times more fragile. They die so quickly. They pretty much are always asking for death, and we'll see how he's able to defend. It looks like we got a couple more turrets coming up to kind of try and create a circular defense for where his Valkyries can sit in the middle of and be safe from, like, say, Scourge or from a Mutalisk dive-in or something like that, because that's really what he's got to be worried about, because if your Valkyries get picked off, like if you produce 2 or 3 Valkyries and they all go down in an instant, which, you know, is entirely possible, and I would say almost likely, and happens in a lot of games, you're pretty much screwed. You're pretty much out. It's pretty much GG. So it's a very dangerous ploy these days. When it first appeared, Valkyries were kind of cool because Zerg players weren't entirely sure how to properly defend against it. Weren't entirely sure how to deal with it. So you catch them by surprise, but nowadays they just put in that, okay, now their idea is simply the Valkyries are like paper. They die super easily, so if the Valkyries don't have the adequate protection around them, just dart in, kill them real fast, and don't worry about it too much. And we see that here, the Scourge and the Mutalisks trying to catch these Valkyries, and Ssak just kind of circling with the Valkyries, not even able to take a shot, not even able to release a volley, because if he releases a volley, the Valkyries just sit there for so long and are sitting ducks, which is why I really don't think Valkyries are all too viable anymore, because of their sitting duck nature. And he does have Burrow, Hydra does have Burrow for his Zerglings, so they are sitting at the top of the ramp asking, he's like, please Ssak, please jump on, come to the top of your ramp and try and take your natural expansion. I promise I won't do anything. Promise. Just try it. It'll be fine. So we're sitting here on 3 Valkyries. We'll see if we'll get a 4th. A few Marines have been produced as well as a 2nd barrack. So I think Ssak's kind of... I can't imagine that this is Ssak's plan. This looks like a very disjointed plan. You know, he did not adequately prepare for, if I can't get my 2nd base up easily, how am I going to evolve into the next stage of the game? I don't think he really prepared for that. I think he prepared for, I'm going to start off Valkyries, I'm going to take my natural expansion, it's going to not be too difficult. And Hydra just threw in this huge wrench into his plan by going with that Hydra pump and sneaking some Zerglings in, and Ssak just looks out of his element, and we'll see if he's able to find something. He's pushing out with his Marines now to his natural expansion. He's got to be careful. Those Zerglings could pop up at any point. Nope, not quite yet. But they could, oh wow, that was kind of interesting. Kind of an interesting time to pop up. I thought he'd wait until the Marines were a little bit farther in, but he came in with the Mutalisks and the Scourge to force these Valkyries back. So the Mutalisks just doing tons of damage to the Marines, and the Marines not able to do much of anything to the combined force. So I think Ssak's is just about done. We should be seeing GG here pretty soon. There's nothing Ssak's going to be able to do. This is a sad day for Sad Ssak, and just waiting for GG, really. He might think that he's got something, but he doesn't. Believe me, he has no chance of coming back from this game. There's so many Mutalisks in there. There goes the last Valkyrie. And GG from Ssak. So Ssak's going to go to the loser's game to play Hoja, and Hydra is going to go to the winner's game to play Jangbi. So that'll be the next game. It'll be Jangbi versus Hydra, and that should be pretty fun. The 2 top players in this group going to face off in the winner's match to see who advances into the MSL. I will see you guys all there. there in the next step.